Hi guys, welcome to this Chris Ryan golf video. We're going to do a video here on sort of short pitch shots and a little bit on trajectory control. So when we're sort of trying to play a shot from 15, 20, 25 yards onto a green, we really need to have the ability to be able to vary the height that the ball goes. So we may need a ball that takes off a bit lower, lands and rolls out, but in certain situations we'll need a higher one, so maybe a lob shot or something that's going to stop pretty quick. Now we often hear trajectory control and how to control it spoken about from where you are now looking through the camera from a face-on view, so where the handle would be relative to the club head. So the handle getting more forward would cause a lower lofted sort of golf club to approach the golf ball, and we get a lower trajectory. If we played with the club more vertical and the handle more in line with the club head, that would give us a higher trajectory. We often look at the release, so whether the left wrist breaks down to get a higher shot or whether we start to feel that the left wrist is more solid and leading. So all these sort of go together to create different ball flights. What I'm going to talk to you today about is where the sort of handle is relative to the golf ball and how this can also affect the trajectory control. So to vary the trajectory, we'd probably need to change 3 to 4 different things that happen in the golf swing. We're just going to speak about one of them today, but maybe one which isn't spoken about enough. So you'll notice I've got 2 alignment sticks on the floor here. You'll notice that the first one here is probably around about 1 foot to 18 inches inside the golf ball. The second one is probably getting closer to 2 feet inside that golf ball. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and set myself up with the golf club, the grip, so the butt of the club, above each of those. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me 2 different starting positions, and I'm going to go through how they're going to affect the golf shot. So when I take my starting position like this, and the butt of the club is over the inside stick, what this is going to do is going to promote a swing plane which is pretty upright. Okay, so it's probably, well, it's not nowhere near vertical, but it's fairly upright. So the club is working a little bit more upwards and downwards. Okay, now that starting position would be if I wanted to hit a lower golf shot. That starting position and that swing plane gives me the chance to hit the golf ball more on the way down with the handle forwards and gives me that lower ball flight which is going to roll out more. If I wanted to hit the ball higher, then I'm going to set myself up with the butt of the club over the inside alignment stick. Okay. Now what you'll notice straight away is the angle of the golf club has changed at setup, and it means that the angle of my swing plane is going to change as well. This is going to give me a much shallower approach into the golf ball, and we know that if we want to hit that golf ball higher, we need a shallow approach. It's no good having that golf club coming down very steeply if we're trying to hit that ball up in the air. So if we can get the golf club to be different at setup, i.e. from this position to this position, that's going to change the dynamics of our golf swing, and it's going to give us the chance to hit that golf ball high. So as soon as I stand in nice and close with the club fairly upright, I'm going to find it a little bit more difficult to hit a higher ball flight. It's not saying we can't, we can open the face and change the release, so we could get a higher ball flight, but it's going to be much more difficult. Vice versa, if I set myself up here, it's going to be quite difficult for me to hit a low chasing running shot. Okay, so if we understand where the butt of the club is relative to the golf ball, how much inside the golf ball it is, and how that's going to change the shape of the swing and the angle of approach, then we can start to vary the trajectory. Okay, so if I just play a couple of shots, the first one I'm going to play a sort of low pitch, which is going to land on the green and roll out. The second one we're going to hit a much higher one, changing the starting position and show you the differences in the angle and the shape of the golf swing. So the first one, nice and close, grip of the club over the inside stick here, and we're just going to play a nice low one which lands on the green. Well, if it hadn't hit the flag, it would have landed on the green, but you can see the trajectory was fairly low. Now the second one we're going to play, ball position is pretty similar, but I'm going to change the location of the grip relative to the ball, and you'll notice how my swing shape is going to get much flatter, and that's going to allow me to hit a much higher ball flight which stops quicker. Now the situation that we find ourselves in will dictate which of those shots we choose. So it may well be we need the lower one, it may well be we need the higher one. Okay, the situation is going to dictate that, not the one that you're most comfortable with. But if we can start to understand that the change in the starting position is going to give me a chance to change the ball flight, we can start to hit a little bit more controlled shots on the golf course, and we can start to get that ball much closer because the ball will react as we want it to. So have a go, take it to the practice area, try and use the canes to set up. That'll make it a little bit easier for you to get the positions correct, and see if you can change the ball flight through this setup, and hopefully then you can take it to the course and get those shots a little bit closer.